Hey guys, good morning. How are you? All right, we are jumping in. We are going to do our makeup together one more time. This party has just been so much fun, and a huge thank you to Stacy because she literally went live so much to show you guys how much she loved this makeup, because honestly, I know the ladies that are starting to get them in, it is like, it just makes you feel so good when you can just even everything out, cover everything up, you know, do whatever it is that you want, whether you want like very simple makeup or you want more glammy makeup. And I just love that. So what we're going to do, these are my first two things that I love to do. This Perfector sponge is damp. I've run it underwater a bunch of times. It has blotted. I blotted it out in a towel, so it's like really bouncy and really poofy, but I can't squeeze any water out of it. So that's the key. Then I'm going to spray it with the setting spray. This is my favorite thing to do first because I want my makeup to last even longer. So the makeup itself lasts a really long time, but when you add this step in, it is just like a complete game changer. So I know a couple of you ladies scoop this up. I know you're loving it. It is awesome to use throughout your makeup. It is awesome to use at the end. If you haven't scooped this up, this was something I didn't get originally. I didn't add this in until, I don't even know. I think it was like 2 months after I was using the makeup. So I was using the makeup for like 2 months before I added this in. Once I did though, I like could not stop talking about it. So that is why I always bring it up. That way, like if you can afford it and you want it, grab it. Add it to a wish list. These are like great items you can scoop up if you want to have a party too. So it's just kind of fun to like have some stuff that you know you want. Christmas is coming. Like that'll fit in a stocking, Santa, right? Okay, so I am just like popping this all over my face. And we are going to go ahead and I'm going to show you. I know I posted this yesterday. I was live inside of another party yesterday, but I want to do it live inside of your party because these save. So this party does not close, even though Stacy is actually closing it out and she's going to cash in all of her goodies. So thank you again to everybody that ordered. And Saint's hostess program just completely spoils the hostesses. So it's just awesome. But we're here because we love it. So let me show you the next step. So as you get your makeup, everything is inside the cool palette that you are customizing. We're going to take it to the next level. So most of you scooped up this 3D brush. This is like, there's a bunch of different brushes you can use. I know some ladies too also grab the buff brush, and you're going to see it's a much smaller application. It's a little bit more dense. This is a great brush to use too. The 3D is my go-to. So I'm going to go with this one. And what I'm going to do is we are just going to tap into my main color. So I'm pretty much really fading out of my summer color and I'm really into my fall color. And so this is Sandy, and no different than the cheetah hack. I'm basically just tapping this all over my face. So I grew up in dance. Honestly, I grew up doing commercials, dance, anything like that. And so I grew up getting my makeup done. So I was really applying with the cheetah hack was actually foreign to me. This was the way I preferred. I actually just really love using the brush. When I first started using the makeup, I used to come in and swipe it. I don't know. I didn't know. I used way too much, probably my first few times because I was using the brush right out of the gate. Then I realized like a little goes a long way. I also realized that the color on the website and the color in the tin, even the color when I dot it on my face, it never looks like it's going to be this natural skin color, right? It just looks like the crazy lady that matched me doesn't know what she's doing. Put your glasses on, girlfriend, right? When it blends though, it's like magic, is it not? So I'm going to take the other side of that brush. I'm going to dip into the color I thought was even crazier than this. And this is Mango. So this is my corrector. And I'm going to just dot that on the top of my eyelids because, guys, as you get older, the top of your eyelids become a little bit more translucent. And I don't know if you've noticed, it almost has like a very thin reddish kind of a look to it, and that's what happens is the skin on the top of your eyelid actually just ages. Your skin ages actually really fast. So if you have not looked into the skincare line, if you're not using any makeup and you're just looking for skincare, reach out because I've used a whole bunch of different ones now. And honestly, the one for Seint is awesome. Like, no surprise. The makeup is awesome. The skincare is awesome. So it took me a little while to switch over to the skincare because I was still like using up my other stuff. And honestly, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm now over a year. June was a year since I started using that skincare. And my skin is just overall, for me, blemishes is huge because I struggle with hormonal acne, especially I started going through menopause really early. Frustrating. I was breaking out like a 14-year-old kid. I have unevenness. It has definitely brightened my skin. It has tightened my skin. I love it. It's good. Okay, so here we go. So all I did, you saw, I used this angled side like right underneath my eyes. And I did an overall everything, and I blended, and you can see when it's all blended, it just looks so natural, right? I gotta make sure I'm paying attention to what I'm doing here. There you go. So that is another way you can start your makeup. You don't have to dot all over. You can just use the brush, tap it all over, and you can just blend it in. Now, again, it's cream, so you want it to kind of warm up for like a hot second. So that works for me because if you know me, you know I have no problems like sitting here and chit-chatting, right? I'm just going to take this sponge and I'm going to blot this all over. And look at, it's even more natural. So even if this is all you did, sometimes this, and I'll fill in my eyebrows a little bit, is pretty much sometimes all I'll do. I'll put a little bit of blush on just to kind of give myself a little bit of life. And I'll go to the gym, or I'll go to Target, or I'll go wherever. Like this is just, so when I look in the mirror, I just like feel better about, you know, not feeling so, I don't know, crappy, right? Like makeup is for you. Honestly, let's face it, our husbands and our boyfriends, they do not even know what contouring is, right? So we're going to come through. I'm going to use, actually speaking of contour, I'm just going to show you this detail brush. Again, if you didn't see the live I did yesterday and shared inside the beauty bar, and you can see I'm kind of coming in and I'm tapping it very lightly. It's just to go ahead and basically give the look that I want. So don't feel like you have to come in super thick, but can you see how it already almost like blends it out? I'm going to hook it right here like a Nike swoosh. And I'm just like blending it up. And the reason why I'm also blending it in this way is because the color that I'm going to put over the top of that is just really going to bring out, like the orange in my shirt. So I'm like really doing it a little on the thicker side, but the brush just kind of blends it right in. So this is another cool thing to kind of like add to your wish list. Once you start playing with your makeup, the obsession comes pretty quickly. You know, it took me like, I loved it right away, but it took me probably like 3 or 4 times before I was like, oh my God, like this is like no joke around. I can't even go back to a powder blush. I can't even go back to anything. It's quick. It's pretty great. But again, I was starting to use brushes first. So I was using it a little bit thicker. And I wasn't really having different tutorials like you guys. So that's why I always make all these different videos. I'm constantly showing you guys a different way. The YouTube channel is awesome if you haven't subscribed to that, because anything new, I'm popping it over there. And there's less like chitter chatter. I'm just basically getting right to the business of whatever it is we're showing. So you're going to see when you're tapping it in this motion, it's like almost right away, like blending it in, right? So it's a little bit softer. So it's just, again, it's just like a different kind of a look. And I'm just going to use that straight edge to just kind of throw some contour down my nose. And this is my favorite part. Like you already have a natural shadow right here. But look, when I blend it, I kind of come up, like see I'm coming up like right here. It just really defines your jaw. And then just drag it down. So do the same thing over here. Just sweep it up and then just really just brush it out and then pull it down. So it just really defines your jaw. Right? If you're going to take a selfie, might as well go for it. Make it look the best, right? So I'm just going to use that little tiny side and just blend it down. So this brush, I can't remember exactly when I introduced it into my kit, but this was the 3rd brush that I ever tried. and I really love the density of it. And I just really love to use it for contour when I do my contour like this. And this is, you know, this is my preferred way of applying my makeup. It's just very traditional. I'm going over all the hard edges. So I'm not really tapping too much on the contour, but more where the contour is sort of meeting the rest of my face, right? Or like that main color, if you will. And don't worry, because we're going to blend in a little bit more. But even just the contour, minus my nose, because I have to do the brightener down the middle, that just brings life. So even if you just add that next step to it, because not everybody got all the pieces. And some people, like a lot of people, actually, I should say some, but actually most, if they didn't scoop up the contour, they're coming back for the contour because you're like, it gives it like this life. So either the contour or the bronzer, I prefer using both, but those are just great things to just brighten up your face. Speaking of which, I'm going to switch over to that blend brush and we're going to come in right underneath our eye. And this is like, if I'm going to apply with brushes, honestly, this is just my favorite way of doing it. You can use the 3D brush. I just really like how light and fluffy this brush is. And again, this is just the blend brush. And I just really like it. And I'm doing a really subtle under eye pop. So it's not too far off from my main color. Sometimes I go really, really bold. And sometimes I do a little bit more subtle. So again, that's the fun part about having a party, is you can kind of scoop up these different colors. Look at even just that, right? It just kind of like brightens up your face like just a little bit. So the fun part about having a party too is you can scoop up different colors so you can play like me, because honestly, depending on where you're going or your outfits, like I've never really had so much fun messing around with my makeup. Look at, see, just putting a little bit of that brightener down the middle. It's so natural. It is so natural. I still don't even really look like I have a ton of makeup on my face. So I'm still doing the same areas that you would do the cheetah hack. Okay, so I'm not doing any new areas. I'm doing all the same areas. I'm just kind of like applying it like on top of each other. So it's giving it a little bit more of a makeup-y look, a little bit more of like an airbrush look, however you want to think of it. I just really dig it, especially for the fall and the winter. So this is like my preferred method for that. So you can see, again, it is still ridiculously natural. Like it's crazy. I mean, I wouldn't even walk to the mailbox without putting my makeup on. So the fact that I come in here live with no makeup on and put my makeup on for you guys is huge, but it's because I love it, because I can't, if you know me, you know I can't stop talking about anything that I love. Okay, blush and bronzer brush. Most of you guys scoop this up with the bronzer. Just pinch it, tap it inside your bronzer, open it up so it's nice and fluffy. And you're going to see, especially when I sit back, my neck, it definitely does not match the rest of my face. So a couple little taps. I bring it up right here just to kind of blend that in too. Now your contour is on the cooler side. It's putting shadows back in your face. Your bronzer is warm, so it's bringing the warmth. So you're touching on the highlight points, like if you were out in the sun, where is going to get the most sun, right? So I kind of tap it over my eyelids and I go right almost like where my blush would apply. So I'm just kind of tapping it lightly like this. The cool part, this bronzer, if you didn't scoop it up, you have no idea how awesome it is. It is a matte finish. You can use it year round, which is great. You can use it as eyeshadow. You can use it as lip liner. It's cream, so you can melt it down, and I am so overdue from melting these babies down. So it is cream, so you can melt that down and you can just get like the most amazing consistency of whatever level of tan or warmth you want. So I love it. So in the summer, you know, I'm tapping in there, I don't know, 8-9 times. And in the winter, I tap in there like 1 or 2 times. But that bronzer lasted me an entire year. So it lasts a really long time. So a $14 tin, lasted me an entire year. And it's not dark and dingy because, have you guys ever used bronzer like this? This was my go-to. So you could get multiple levels, right? I never got a solid color. I always got the one that always had all the stuff in it. And it's dirty. And if you drop it, it breaks. So it's a mess. Have you ever dropped this on vacation? It is a mess. But I actually had no idea how dirty it actually really was on my skin until I switched over to this. So this you're layering over your main color, but I promise you're going to fall in love with it. And then you can choose to add a shimmer if you want or not. So I tend to do more of a shimmer in like the summertime than I do in the winter, but I really kind of even love like the Illuminator on my cheek, the glow. It's so good. So that's another option. It's really pretty on lips too. You can like layer it with any of like the reds, and it just kind of gives it a really deep, just a fun color. Let me show you. So this is the Glow Illuminator. So you can put this over, see how it kind of has like a little bit of a shimmer to it. So if you're putting this next to the Bella, and you're putting it over the top of it, you're going to get like a lot of shimmer, and it's just really, really pretty. Well, what are we doing? Let's just put it on really quick. It's just us, right? But you can see just that alone over the bronzer. Like if you're trying to have something like really, really, really simple, like, isn't that pretty? That alone can just be your cheek color. Like, you don't have to actually layer and put a color on there. You can do just that, which is just so fun. How natural. You guys, glow is for year-round. I just tend to wear it more in the summer. But honestly, I love it for an illuminator on my cheeks year-round. So I shouldn't just say that. But I wear it all over my face in the summer. There we go. Okay, hang on. Aquaphor timeout. Okay, speaking of cheeks, let's throw a color on our cheeks here. So I have like an orangey shirt on today. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to come into Boardwalk. I was talking to another one of my beauty bar babes today, and she was like, you know what? I am digging Boardwalk, and you know what? It matches my shirt. So check out this gorgeous color on your cheek. If you're not looking for a red, is that gorgeous? If you're not looking for a red, if you're not looking for a pink, and you're wanting something a little peachy, this color is stunning. So I'm not going to lie. I always wear the same color blush all the time. It didn't matter what I was wearing. It didn't matter where I was going. I was so boring with my blush. Now I have like endless colors. Endless colors. It is so much fun to mix and match. But you guys, this is the color that we just used today. So this is Boardwalk on my cheeks. I'm going to put it next to Bella here. You're going to see it's like a wicked peachy kind of a color. It's really, really pretty. And we're going to put a little bit on my lips too. And I'm just going to kind of tap that. Just like that. Such a beautiful color. Okay, so here we go. I think this is pretty much everything. Like, how fast was that? It was like super duper fast. So I'm just going to come through and just set this really quick. Make sure we don't have any excess makeup hanging around anywhere. And we are like good to go. So let's just throw some eye on. I'm going to use the eyeshadow brush. I'm dipping into the vanilla dusting powder. If you don't have this tin yet, it's awesome. And we are using this as a primer first. This is going to make our eyeshadow last super long, right? And it's also going to make sure that it's like really, really blended. This is a translucent powder. It's going to work on any skin tone, and it's just going to blend in, as you can see. So I'm going a little bit on the thicker side today. You can do thinner, you can do thicker. I just want you to be able to see it on camera. And why we have it out, we're actually going to set the rest of our makeup. So this is like the blend brush. This is actually just an artist only brush, but I'm going to come through underneath my eyes, and I'm actually just going to set this makeup and show you that if you're wanting more of a matte finish versus more of a shiny finish, that you can use this and keep it very natural and keep it very simple. So these are the key areas where I pop it. I pop it around my nose, underneath my mouth, right up here in my T-zone, and I go underneath my cheek. Can you see that extra lift it gives? All the little secrets, you guys. The vanilla dusting powder is amazing. So you're going to see it's going to give just a little bit. It's going to take a little bit of that shine off, which is really great. So again, I'm just tapping it. I'm going right underneath my eye, because if I'm going to get any caking, this is where I get it. So I tap it underneath my eye, around my nose, on my chin, on my forehead. And then again, I'm going to go right underneath my cheekbone and go all the way down. Isn't that awesome? Yet it's still going to stay really natural. And I'm leaving my nose and I'm leaving the cheeks because I want to keep that youthful glow. That is the secret. Right there. All right, let's see. What are we going to do today? What are we going to do today? Let's use a color we haven't used in a while. Let's see. I've got so many different palettes, right? But it's so fun. Let's use Havana. We haven't used that in a while. Okay, let's come through. Fluffy side of the brush. We're going to use this as a transition color. We're going to do a very light application. I'm swirling it right here at the top area, because when you put your mascara on, you want to be able to see your mascara, or you want to be able to see your eyeshadow. So the secret is coming up this way. So the first couple of times when you do this, especially if you have a hooded eye, throw your mascara on first, like a rainy day, you're playing, and then do your eyeshadow. You will quickly learn where that high point is on your eyebrow, on your brow bone right there, right underneath your eyebrow, I should say. And that is where you want to go all the way up, because I know it feels funny when you're doing it and you don't have your mascara and you're like, I don't want to look like a clown. Like, I don't want it to go up so high, but honestly, that's where you're going to see it. So if you went a little bit too heavy, just clean it on one of the microfiber towels. These things are great. I always have one. And you can come back through and you can just re-blend it. So when in doubt, blend it out. You can also use, I know it's corny, but you're going to not forget it. You're going to think of me one day when you're getting ready and you're like, oh, when in doubt. All right, I'm going to come into Sedona. I'm obsessed with Sedona. And we are just going to go ahead and basically, see what we're doing? We're like painting it right in the corner. So we're keeping it really simple. I'm going to drag into the crease. All we are doing is just darkening up this eyeshadow like look, really simple. So think of this, see the difference? Think of this as you're contouring. So once again, I want it to go up a little higher because I want to be able to see it. So put a dot there, right? I want to be able to see it when I put my mascara on. And my lashes are long because I use a lash serum. And I'm wicked excited. Stacy just scooped it up, so I cannot wait for her to try it. And don't forget to take pictures, Stacy, because within 2 weeks, I could tell a difference in my lashes. And I use the same mascara. Whenever I take a picture like before and after, I always use the same mascara, because otherwise that's not fair. Because I have different mascara. I have casual mascara. I have holy cow mascara. You know, I have date night mascara. Because you know me, I love to play. Okay, see the difference? All I did was use Sedona to just, it's not much. Like your eye look doesn't have to be like wham, you know? It can be like super simple. But you can take it up a notch by just a little bit darker. So we're staying very natural today, right? Not for long though, because you know I am always messing around, but we're going to stay very natural today. We're going to come through. I'm going to drag it into the crease, kind of buff that out a little bit. Always take your darkest color that you're doing and drag that underneath, okay? So same thing, we're just gonna take it just like this. Now, I wanna make sure you can see it when I put my mascara on. So again, pop open your eye and do just like a little dot, and it's gonna feel funky. This is what I get the most questions about, is how do you do eyeshadow? So I just kind of come back and forth, and then I come through. I will tell you, the brush totally helps too. I didn't get the brush right away. I didn't. I have enough eyeshadow brushes. So I didn't get the brush right away. And then I will tell you, when I scooped up the brush, I was like, oh, just like the 3D brush, just like all the ones for the cream, these are made for the density of the eyeshadow. So it just blends so much better. And then you don't ruin them. So that way you're not ruining it inside your palette. So you can travel with it and it's not like caking everywhere. And so I quickly scooped up the brush and I was like, oh, now I get it. Okay, so you're just taking this and you're just blending it. You just kind of really quick, really easy. Now let's figure out an inner eye pop here that will be just like super duper fun. I'm trying to find a color I haven't used before. Let's do Riviera. This one's really pretty. This one I actually, somebody is just getting in the mail soon from me. So I'm going to take Riviera. Again, we're keeping a very light look today, but fall, we have on this peachy color, and all I have on is like leggings and boots, so really simple. And I'm just gonna tap this in with my finger so it pulls more of the shimmer. And another secret is, it's gonna feel weird, I'm tapping up here. Okay, so that's just gonna feel like this very weird thing, like you're gonna be, you know what I mean? I get it. I get it. So take the fluffy side of your brush and then just buff it out, okay? And just buff it into that Sedona. So you're just kind of buffing it out, and see how like it's very light, it's very fresh, but you're still getting the fall vibe. It matches with the cheek color. You can very easily darken this up. Like if you really wanted to, you could really come in with some darker browns or darker purples. You could put a purple with this and that would be stunning. It would be like gorgeous. So I wear these colors with a lot, but this is just like a very simple, easy look, and it's very simple to go ahead and try this. If your guys are just starting out with your eyeshadows. So I'm really, really excited. So don't feel like just because you got your makeup, like this is gone. Like don't forget, the party stays open. So this workshop, you can always come back and you can search Stacy's name, and this is going to stay open. Okay. And then you can come over into the beauty bar, and all I'm doing is just doing an inner eye pop. It's like one of my favorite little secrets here. Always go into the beauty bar. There's always going to be a ton of videos, a ton of tricks, the YouTube channel as well. Just endless things, anything I can show you, anything new. And then just one more little trick. If you come too far in, you can use your finger, you can use your eyeshadow brush, or you can use your smudge brush, which is my favorite. And I always just have a little bit, whatever's like left over on my brush of like my main color or my brightener. And all I do is just clean up that area, and you can go all the way in and you can clean up the whole thing. So if you ever feel like I went a little too much or a little darker or whatever it is so easy to clean up this makeup, like especially where the fallout is. So I'm going to use that blend brush one more time. I'm going to dip into my main color, and all I'm going to do is we're going to give this a really clear cut, clean corner. So hang on, I'm tapping it with that little tiny side. So you're going to see I use these brushes a bunch of different ways. So I try to always share with you the brush I'm using because of this right here. I like to apply it, and then I like to have it be fluffy because I really don't want it to be super like straight. I want it to look very, very natural. Okay, so my final step, let's just pop some Illuminator on. I think we're going to do, let's do Pearl today. So I'm just going to take the blush side of that brush, and I'm just going to pop Pearl right on there and just fluff it with the bronzer side. And it just kind of makes everything pop. There we go. So we want to see all of your makeup. That is like honestly the best part, is when you guys start playing, because that is the best. So please don't stop sharing. Don't stop sharing inside the party. Don't stop sharing inside the beauty bar. Reach out if you have any questions. Like I said, I am always here. It's not like you're stuck. Like, I'm here, and this is the part I love, you guys. So reach out, ask any questions. You can ask Stacy any questions. She's a pro. I told her, I'm like, why are you not doing this with me? She went live every single day. I'm like, why are you not doing this with me? It is so much fun to talk to women and help other women out. So I absolutely love that. And I think that's it. So I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Tuesday. Thank you again. This has been such a fun couple of weeks with you guys. And Stacey, we cannot wait to see what you pick out with all your goodies. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.